Hey guys, welcome to the Rideshare Report. I'm Mike Dean, and thanks for joining me here today. So, in today's report, I want to talk about a protest that will be taking place this up and coming weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on the 16th, 17th, and 18th. The protest will have about 1,200 to 1,500 participants, according to the guy who's heading the protest, the leader, Abe Hussein. Abe Hussein is an ex-Uber driver out of Kansas City. He was only driving for about 5 months, but during that process he was pretty unhappy with Uber's fares, Uber's rates, and probably even more so unhappy with the fact that he got deactivated from the platform. So he's been drumming up protests and marketing and advertising, literally through Facebook ads, actually, sponsored ads, creating flyers and putting together a number of leaders, apparently, in different markets across the states. Now, he's also called upon drivers, unfortunately, to create fake passenger accounts and request rides from other Uber X drivers and then cancel those rides. And I think the target of those other drivers are scabs. Those are drivers who won't be participating in the protest. So it sounds a little dirty, but I don't think it's really going to happen to that degree. And nor do I actually think that there's really much to come out of the protest. There's been just a number of protests that drivers have kind of somewhat organized over the last several years, and they really didn't make a change to what those demands were, during those protests. In this particular case, Abe Hussein is demanding that Uber increases the fares by 60%, that he adds a tipping option to the passenger and driver app. That would be nice, actually. And that Uber change the cancellation fees from $5 to $7. So, those are some pretty strong demands. Without doubt, Uber, come on, Uber is not going to give in to anyone's demands. And I think a lot of drivers might be kind of, under the false pretense that that's possible, that Uber can, based on the most recent protest out of Dallas. That was a protest by Uber SUV drivers, because Uber was, in a sense, forcing them to be able to accept Uber X rides. Now remember, Uber SUV is a higher tier of service. Those are luxury cars, and those drivers make more money on that platform, and they definitely didn't want to be using their cards for the lower priced Uber X platform and or rides. So they got together, they protested, and apparently they won. There was a victory there. But it was a really small concession on Uber's part, because, instead of just kind of squashing the whole thing and just saying, forget about it, never mind, it's all good, you guys, you can stay on the Uber SUV platform, you don't have to. What they did was they created an option for those drivers to log in to either SUV or Uber X. And actually, I think that's kind of a good thing. I think that kind of worked out only in that respect, that now Uber SUV drivers can actually have the option of picking up Uber X passengers. Keep in mind, the highest demand is on the Uber X platform. And, when it's surging at, 2 point whatever or 3.4.5, why not have the option to take those rides, right? Well, in any event, I think a lot of drivers, I kind of felt that if we can make Uber concede to, based on that, the demands of that particular protest, then we can get them to concede to anything. And actually that was actually used in promoting, the up and coming protest this weekend. So that protest is going to be happening, downtown San Francisco on Market Street, 1455. That's where Uber's office is. I'm probably going to zip down there to check it out, do a couple of videos, maybe interview a couple of guys. I want to interview not just the guys who are protesting, but the drivers who are not, just to get some feedback. Maybe I can grab a few passengers, and see what, how they feel about the protest. But most likely, I'll probably stay away from passengers because I don't want you, Uber, to think that I'm kind of, meddling in passenger privacy, right? So, but you won't have to worry about that in any case. I'm kind of reporting from a very neutral position, without judgment. So, but furthermore, again, I don't think, and I'm pretty confident that this protest is not going to have any impact on Uber. Uber is not going to budge at all. Though I do believe that it may raise some additional attention to the media. Obviously, it will, because it's already in the media. But it's going to raise some additional attention to city and state local government. And I think, some of the labor entities of the government, such as the California labor boards, or whatever governs labor, will be definitely watching over this event, and probably at some point in time continue to have discussions on certain labor practices that drivers are claiming Uber is not practicing correctly, and taking advantage in or exploiting them. So, while there's a lot of drivers on the platform that have grievances, there's just as many drivers that are satisfied and happy. Though some do mention that those drivers are, still in their honeymoon period, the first to third month period, where they haven't really felt maybe the impact of what the fare decreases are or what their expenses are, things of that nature. So, but, like I said, there's drivers that are happy, that enjoy the freedom and flexibility and the opportunity to earn either money full-time or part-time on the UberX platform, or on the Uber platform in general. And then there are drivers who might be feeling the crunch because of fare cuts, and or drivers who are just not happy with Uber's overall business practices. So, we'll see what happens with that, and we'll see if there's anything else that's going to come out of this in terms of city and state local government and or regulations and or discussions with regards to, labor grievances and that sort of thing. So if you have any questions, by all means, post up your comments. I'd like to hear back from you. And my camera's on. There you go. So let's get the conversation rolling. What do you feel about the strike, and do you think anything at all is going to come out of this? Do you think it's going to kind of motivate the government to participate or to regulate, based on fares or anything to that nature? It's quite interesting, and I'm following it every day. I read 4, 5, 6, 10 articles. I'm definitely rideshare. I have rideshare compulsive behaviors, so I'm always keeping myself abreast of the news and the events that are occurring as much as possible. So, thanks again for joining me, and drive safe, be safe, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the next video. And remember, Uber on, lift off!